Hi, I'm Ali and a warm welcome to Face Yoga Master, Natural Beauty Over 40. So in today's video, I thought I would share with you how we can actually really help sculpt those cheekbones. We're going to do some great facial massage exercises and then finishing off with the all-important lymphatic drainage release. So first things first, as always, I kind of like to start off with clean skin. So if you start with clean skin and then use a kind of facial product, as I quite like to use a facial oil here. This is quite a fun one. It's got little gold pieces in here, which does actually disintegrate into the hand when you actually rub it through. If you have a favourite face cream, that's fine too. Just something so you've got to slip and glide, so you're not compromising the skin by dragging and pulling. So just massaging into the fingers and then just placing by the side of the nose and the cheekbone area, lower parts of the face, and then not forgetting in front and behind the ears, and then just down either side of the collarbone here and SEM muscle with the neck. So first of all, with our fingers, let's just do a little bit of gentle facial tapping. Now what this really does help with blood flow and circulation, and I quite like to start off with a facial tap. It's a really good sort of starting point, if you like. Also helps boost collagen, particularly if you're over 40 and you're starting to lose collagen and elastin within the skin. This will really help if done regularly. And then with our fingers, just gliding where the cheekbone is to the side of the face, nice and light. Now if you have more mature skin and it's very sagging, you can always place your hand onto your nose and just very gently glide with your fingers, just so you've got some support for the skin. So now let's do a little bit of cheek sculpting, and we really want to get into this cheekbone here. If the cheekbones are nice and lifted, literally the whole of the lower part of the face will lift up as well, rather than dragging down like with gravity with age. So we're taking our fingers, and where the nose is and the cheekbone is here, you can feel your bone, and you want to get your fingers into that bone and underneath. Now if you I've had my nails done, so I can't get right in. If you do, you can try to actually, if you want to, use your knuckle. Again, you can use your hand for support so you're not dragging at the skin, or you can just go in like so, really getting in there. And then moving slowly across to the side of the ears. So if there's any toxin build-up or any tight fascia around this area as well, we're helping release that. And again, if you like, you can use your knuckles or hold and place with your fingers if your skin's very sagging. And then on the other side, again, just really getting in between the nose, kind of under the cheekbone area here. And slowly working our way towards the ears. And then placing our hands onto our chin area, we're now going to lift up past the mouth towards the nose and glide under the cheekbone towards the ears here. Nice lower facial massage. Now I've been a facialist for the last 8 years, and I'm really passionate about skincare and to really help you on the skincare journey. So please do comment down below if there's any other facial massages and exercises you'd love me to share with you. Now we hold a lot of tension between either side of the nose here, between the nose and also the cheekbone. So if you can take your finger and just really massage that in a round circular motion, starting low and sort of slow and light, and then you can really gradually build up and then work the other way. Now this is where those potential smile lines and nasal labial folds start to sort of almost develop from this area and come down. So if you can release tension here, this will really help soften those. And then again under the cheekbone towards the ears. Placing a hand one finger by the side of the nose, well, under the cheekbone, finger above, and just gently glide along now. Now, when you're by the eye, you want to be quite fairly low. If you're too high and too close to the eye, you don't want to be dragging or pulling at the skin in that area. So be very light on the finger, which is by the eye here. And on the other side. And then lifting up in an upwards motion. So from the jawline towards the cheekbone, lifting up along the cheekbone towards the temples. Nice uplifting facial lift. And because we've applied some facial oil to our face, it's really gliding well, so we're not dragging at the skin. And again, whatever actives are in your facial serum or your facial cream is going to penetrate in even better and deeper whilst doing these facial massage exercises. And then taking the fingers here and just massaging nice and lightly above the cheekbone, where sometimes we can develop some fine lines and wrinkles. So just gliding those out. You can do this once or twice a day, obviously depending how much time you have. You can spend a bit more time on one area if you feel you need to spend a bit more time in one place rather than another. You just smooth everything out so the face is nice and smooth and everything's kind of lifting. So now place the thumbs under the chin, fingers above, making a hook. We're lifting up, coming to either side of those nostrils and gliding fairly deeply, medium depth, if you could say, under the cheekbone towards the ears. Coming up lightly and then under, slightly a bit firmer with the touch under the cheekbones. And one last time. And then again, just gliding under that cheekbone area. Then fingers placed under the chin, fingers above, just gently now gliding in an outwards motion towards the ears, lower part of the face and the top of the cheeks here. And what we're doing here, we're moving toxins and waste within the lymph, which is very close to the surface of the skin. So really nice, light, delicate touch. Now I am in my mid-50s and I really do find just doing very light facial massages every day really does tend to soften those fine lines and wrinkles and also prevents them as well. And then with one hand at a time, placing our hands, making a V shape, and I always like to finish off with these when I'm doing any facial massage or lymphatic drainage. And if you place some fingers in front and behind the ear and just gently glide down either side, where we have plenty of lymph nodes, and then gently glide down that big SCM muscle down to the collarbone. And then on the other side, taking our fingers into a V shape and just gently glide down. And then down the side of the SCM muscle down to the collarbone. And then for the final lymphatic drainage, which is so important when we've done any form of facial massage,